Welcome back, my wacky architects, and today we're going to be making a tinfoil boat that floats on water.
Please make sure that you have permission from your parents to build this boat.
Now, before we get into making our boat, we have to learn, why do boats float?
Fortunately for you guys, I have the answer to your questions, and the answer is density. Well, you guys may be wondering, what is density? What is such a thing? I've never heard of this. Now, for those of you that don't know, density equals mass over volume. Mass divided by volume is equal to density. For those of you who don't know, volume is equal to the length of an object multiplied by the height of an object multiplied by the width. Now that we have a brief understanding of how density works, let's try a problem. So let's say the mass of an object is 20 grams. Right? And the volume of the object is 5 grams. Now let's plug this into our equation. Density equals 20 over 5. Because remember, density is mass divided by volume. So this is our volume and this is our mass. Now let's try this problem out. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. This means that 4 is our density. How do we know if a boat is going to float? Well, the answer is the density of the boat has to be less than the number 1. So do you remember, guys, how on the last problem that we did, our answer was 4? That means that that object would not float. Now, why is that? Because 4 is greater than 1. In order for an object to float, the density of that certain object has to be less than 1.
Alright, now comes our supply list.
Well, first, tinfoil. Next, we're going to need a ruler. After the ruler, we're going to need a Sharpie to make our measurements. Sharpie, or any marker that you guys have at hand to make measurements, we're going to need some toothpicks or wooden dowels. After the toothpicks or wooden dowels, we're going to need a pair of scissors. After the scissors, we're going to be needing some glue. So for this video, I'm going to be using super glue, which does require parental supervision, and you must be wearing gloves. Or you could be using a glue stick, which is a lot easier to use. You guys can also use wooden glue, which will work as well, but it will take longer to dry. That's why I am using super glue. And if we're going to need a piece of tinfoil that is 1 foot in length. Alright guys, now that we have our piece of tinfoil, we're going to take it and we're going to make a bowl out of it. Now watch, you're going to put your hand in the middle and you're going to start crunching up all the sides until you have something that looks like a bowl. Now that you guys have created your tinfoil bowl, it's time for you guys to pick which side is going to be the front of your boat and which side is going to be the back. Now I'm making my boat facing that way. So this is going to be my front side. Now what we're going to do, guys, is put our finger right here at our front of our boat, pinch, and go around our finger. Just like that. So now our boat looks like this. And don't worry, it doesn't look like a boat yet, but soon it will. Now that the front of our boat looks like this, we're going to take it and we're going to squeeze it. Just like so. Now that we're up to this step, we're going to go around our boat and fold in the sides to make it look nice and even all around. All throughout your boat, make sure you fold in your sides. The next step is that we're going to go to the back of our boat and we're going to cut this down. This way, we now have a flap in the back of our boat. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the back of our boat, take the sides, and fold them in, just like this. Put your finger inside and fold right around. That way the back of your boat is now flat. Now what we have to do is pick up our back tab and fold it over, just like so. You can finally see that our boat is coming to life. Now what you're going to want to do is take your finger and press down the inside. Make the walls of your boat very, very straight all the way around. Alright guys, now what you're going to want to do is cut yourself a piece of tinfoil that measures 3 inches by 3.5 inches. What you want to do is grab your toothpick. This piece of tinfoil is going to be the base for our flag. We're going to take our toothpick and poke it right through the bottom. That way, we can now make our base. What you're going to want to do is just take it and scrunch it up as much towards the bottom as possible, but make sure that your bottom is flat. That way we can place it in the center. Remember guys, when you're making your base, try to make it look as much as a Hershey Kiss as you possibly can and make sure that the bottom is flat. That way it could stand on its own. Now that you have your base for your flag done, it's time to make the actual flag. What we're going to do is cut a piece of tin foil that's 3.5 inches by 3 inches once again. Next, we're going to take one corner and we're going to bring it to the other. And it's okay if paper wrinkles. You're going to fold it as neat as possible so that now you have a triangle. Now that you guys have a triangle out of your tin foil, it's time to fold it once again. So then now it looks like this. One more step. You're going to fold it just like so. You're going to take it and you're going to put it on a flat surface and try to hammer it down with your fingers to make it as flat as possible and to show as little wrinkles as we can. Now that you have your triangle, we're going to take it, we're going to open it up just like this. And now here's where glue comes into play. Make sure that you're wearing gloves on your hands so that no glue gets on your fingers. We're going to take our glue and we're going to cover one side of the triangle, only one side, in glue, and a little bit of the middle. Now that one side of our triangle is glossy and one is not, we're going to take our pole, we're going to put it right in the middle and fold right over it. Just like this. And now our flag is finally complete. Now that our flag is complete and our boat is almost ready, what we're going to do is we're going to take our finger, put it in the center of the boat, and make it as flat as possible. That way the glue will stick its best. We're going to take our glue stick and we're going to rub it right in the middle. Not too much, but just enough. Our next step is to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of our flag. Now you guys can choose whichever way you want your flag to face, but I want mine to face forward. So let's make it face forward. And now our flag is sticking. We're going to give it 2 minutes for the glue to settle and dry.
Alright guys, while we wait for our flag to stick to our tinfoil boat, here are some fun facts about density and boats. Did you guys know that the fastest boat can go over 300 miles an hour? That's faster than any car in the world.
Now that our boat is ready and our flag is finally dry, it's time to test out if our boat floats. Now that your boat floats, here's where we can have some actual fun. Let's put some pennies in our boat, or any loose change for that matter, and see how many pennies it takes to sink our boat. Now that you have put your coins in and your boat is still floating, congratulations, you've done it. You've created a successful boat, but let's try adding some more and see how it holds up. Would you look at that? It still floats. It's incredible, the amount of weight that you could put on water and it will still float. It's time for that part of the video. Subscribe, comment below how many pennies you guys used to sink your boat. I guarantee you guys that next week's video is going to be even better and cooler than this one. Alright, my wacky architects. Have a good day and don't forget to subscribe and comment below.